Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man and it's time to make some soap. I'm doing a milk soap again. I've done it a few times with good success, been happy with it, so it's time to do another one. If you have not made a milk soap and you want to try, this is a pretty good video for this because it's pretty basic. In case you don't know, you can replace a lot of different fluids in place of your water, including milk. I'm using buttermilk. The problem when you introduce lye to any kind of milk or anything with any type of sugar in it, like say wine, it's going to get really hot really fast and it's going to scorch it and turn brown. It's going to stink. It'll still make good soap, but it won't exactly look the way you want it to. So what most people do in that case is freeze it. I went ahead and measured my milk out, put it in an ice tray, and completely froze it. Then you measure your lye out and put about a tablespoon on it and stir and stir and stir and stir and put another tablespoon and stir and stir and stir. I've been stirring on this for about 25 minutes, adding lye very slowly, making 100% sure, 110% sure that all the lye is completely dissolved. And it is. That keeps the milk nice and cool. This is 80 degrees even though it's had lye in it. It's 80 degrees, it's well mixed. I'm ready to pour it together. Now if you've never made soap before or you're really new, you might want to get a few batches under your skin. And what I'm doing today is the spoon plop. I'm using two colors. I'm using natural colors, well, somewhat natural. The lighter color is beech nut baby carrot puree. I was going to go with the all-natural approach and do the brown using cocoa powder, but I don't often do a soap that has brown in it where I can use a scent oil that naturally turns it brown. So I am going to use the brown. I'm going to use scent oil to turn the brown. So anyway, it's not going to be completely natural, but this is a milk soap using somewhat natural colors. If you have not done this before, you might want to get a few batches under your belt just using water. You can use this exact same recipe that I have here, exact same recipe, except instead of buttermilk or any kind of milk, just use water. And this is a very, very simple recipe. This is a very, very simple design. So let's go ahead and mix this together and make some soap. My lye milk is 80. My oils are 120. I generally want them a little cooler, closer together than that, but with all these hard oils, if I put this into a cool pot of oils, this is going to cool it down. It's going to start to solidify, and I might even get a false trace, which is where the oils harden and you think it's trace, but it's really not trace. So this is generally not a good idea to have your temperatures this far apart, but in this situation, you don't have a whole lot of choice. I have done this before. It's turned out great. Alright, enough of that. Let's make some soap. That's why we're here. These are nice and cool. I'm going to pour them into my warm oils. Oh yeah, everything's very well mixed. No lye crystals whatsoever in this. Alright. My usual procedure, just get it emulsified, split it off into two containers, put my colors in, and I want a very, very thick trace in this one, so I'm not worried about keeping it thin. I want like a pudding thick trace this time. Alright, that is good to start. split these off. The last time I did it, I had, with this same recipe, I had just a little over 3 cups in each. So I'm going to start at the 3 cup level in these 4 cup measuring cups. And it does not have to be exact, it can be close. With this is a very forgiving recipe. It's great for beginners, intermediate, and advanced because it looks nice, but it's easy. Alright, so I'm not worried about just 100% exact. I'm worried about close, and these are both very, very close, and that's good enough for me. Alright, here we go. To the one side, this is going to be the brown and the taller one. This is going to be the orange, yellow, and the other one. Now, I am going to let my scent oil darken this, but the truth is, when I'm layering it, I don't want to get confused. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of cocoa powder in this to go ahead and darken it just a little bit. And I'm going to put approximately half of this. This is 4 ounces altogether, the carrot puree. Let me shake it up a little bit, make sure it's well mixed. I'm going to put roughly half of it, and probably about 2/3 more like. Once again, that was almost all of it. That's alright. I'm going to stick blend, lightest to darkest. You'll notice I stick blended the heck out of that, but it's really not quite thick enough just yet. But it will be. It will be. And it's sort of an orangey, peachy right now. The last time I did this, it turned sort of a buttery yellow, so I think it'll do the same. Go ahead and put my scent in and mix it just a little bit because I'm not worried about thin trace now. I want thick trace. Alright, I could stand really thicker, but that's alright. I'm not going to worry too much about it because they're going to thicken up as I go along because this is a little bit of a slow procedure. Try and stir some of those air bubbles out. This stuff smells good. Alright. I think we're ready, folks. Let me just get a little air bubbles out of these. Okay, so using 2 different spoons, one for each color. Okay, now we're getting thick. That's good. That's what I'm looking for. That really pudding thick. So what I'm going to do is take a brown and plop it, a yellow and plop it, a brown and plop it, and then alternate. I just want to make sure that I don't plop the same color on top of each other. Plop, yellow, plop, brown, plop, and then on top of the brown, do the yellow, peach, whatever you want to call it, plop, brown. I think you get where we're going. And see, you don't have to worry about this being neat. That's why this is a really good technique for beginners, intermediate, as well as advanced, because it's just really forgiving, and there's just really no right or wrong. All right, I'm going to pound these down. Okay. Alternating plops. Pound down. My brown's a little thicker because the scent oil, and I stick blended it. That is all of my brown. I have some yellow left over, but I want to keep it somewhat consistent. So, I think you get the gist of this. Plus, if you watched me before, I've done the spoon plop before. It's one of my favorites because it's easy and it makes a nice result. Now, because of this, the milk, this is going to have to sit in the mold for a few extra days, I think, and it's going to take some time to have the really true result, because the scent oil is going to have to set up and do its things. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is just try to get some of this extra on top. Since I'm working with a nice thick trace, go ahead and cover the top up and work on making a nice top with it. Let me pound this down just a little bit. So I'll try to get the yellow on top as much as possible. Get it down in all the crevices and corners so we have as few air bubbles as possible, preferably none. And then I'm going to try to build it up in the center like this. And spray this with rubbing alcohol to prevent soda ash. And because this is a milk soap, a lot of sugar's there, Because it has carrot puree, a lot of sugars there, it's going to get hot. And I don't want it to get hot. I don't want this to darken because of the hot gel, so this is going to go in the refrigerator. So anyway, there you have it, and if you want to try it, I recommend you do so. One thing, when you're cooling your milk, your ice milk, and putting your lye with it, I have it in an ice bath. Highly recommend putting your bowl in an ice bath just to keep it as cool as possible, because it really worked, and my lye milk stayed nice and cool. Anyway, there we go, and I'll see you in a few days for cutting. Thanks everybody, bye.